Northwest Premier Job Mokgoro hasn't resigned from his position just yet, but the ANC has, of course, already named his replacement. The party's Interim Provincial Committee announced Bushy Maape as the Premier-elect. Our senior reporter Siphamandla Goge spoke to Job Mokgoro a short while ago. He joins us now live. So, Sipa, he is going to resign just after he speaks to the President.
Indeed, and he feels very much unhappy about the way or with the way he's been treated ever since Tuesday, if I'm not mistaken, when the Interim Provincial Committee of the ANC in the Northwest announced that he was going to be asked to resign. So he says he wants to speak to the President. He will tell the President that he's not happy with the way he's been treated. He will thank the President for the opportunity. And the main reason he wants to speak to the President is that he feels that this matter has been handled rather amateurishly so, and he feels that it could have been handled better and not by what he calls junior members of the Interim Provincial Committee. So by the end of next week, he says he would have resigned. It's expected that his meeting with the President should take place around Tuesday or Wednesday, depending on the diary of the President. We know that he was out of the country attending to important matters related to the region of SADC and peace and stability. So once the President is back, once the President has settled, then the outgoing Premier of the Northwest, Job Mokgoro, will meet with the President. They will discuss this whole matter, but he has agreed to resign, even though previously it's been reported that he remains defiant. It's something he says, no, I was going to resign, but I needed things to be done the correct way.
Yeah, and then he's also very unhappy about why he's been removed, because as far as he's concerned, this is a factional decision and battle that's playing out here, and that's why he's lost his job.
He says the decision to remove him has got nothing to do with the best interests of the citizens of the Northwest. He says this is just a factional decision. The reasons that have been given are flimsy. They do not hold, because he says ever since he came in to the provincial government, he has tried by all means to turn things around here. If we have to rewind a bit, go back to 2018 when Siphamandla Goge was removed as the Premier of the province. Job Mokgoro was brought in to finish that term from 2018 to 2019. He was given a mandate to turn around this province. The administration was really struggling. It was placed under administration. It's still under administration. So he says he has done a lot in terms of issues of job creation in the province, water provision, issues of health, citing that they were making inroads and strides when it comes to dealing with COVID-19 in this province. So he says his track record speaks for itself. He has delivered. The reasons that are being advanced for his removal are nothing but factional and flimsy.
And he's not happy with the party and how they've handled the situation, of course, Siphamandla. He wants to know from them what he's done wrong, because it seems he hasn't been told just yet. He
says, tell me my sins, what have I done wrong? But he seems to be taking a swipe at one individual by the name of Siphamandla Goge, who is the coordinator of the Interim Provincial Committee of the ANC in the Northwest. It's open secret that they have not really enjoyed a good working relationship ever since the two of them started working together. Prof. Mokgoro's membership was suspended in the ANC. He says Siphamandla Goge wanted to micromanage him. He wanted to interfere with the running of the provincial government. Of course, those are allegations that we have to go back now to Siphamandla Goge to put to him. But in the past, Siphamandla Goge has dismissed such allegations. I remember interviewing him on Thursday. I asked him about what Prof. Mokgoro has said today, that he is saying he is being removed because of factional battles of the ANC. Of course, Siphamandla Goge downplayed what Prof has been saying, and he said, no, it's got nothing to do with factional battles of the ANC. The collective IPC has taken a decision that the Premier has to go, so therefore he has to go. But that tells you that both gentlemen have not really enjoyed good working relationship, and I assume one of the things he will be talking to the President about is the issue of Siphamandla Goge, who is the coordinator of the Interim Provincial Committee of the ANC, because he says he has never really enjoyed political support from the IPC. Therefore, it was difficult to execute his mandate, but he says he tried all he could.
Yeah, interesting though that you would speak to the ANC's national spokesperson, Bushy Maape, and he would say there's no crisis in the ANC in the Northwest. But you have Job Mokgoro, one of their leaders in a province for a long time, saying he feels let down by the organization and also admitting, which we spoke about already, that there is factional battles playing out here.
Indeed, and you know, if you listen to what we asked Prof. Mokgoro to say, what have you done? You are complaining about the IPC. Did you ever report them to the national leadership or the national structures of the governing African National Congress? He says, yes, I did write to them, and I asked them what was the response. He says, I'm still waiting. So yes, the ANC will always try to downplay the nature and extent of crisis that it's facing here in the Northwest or in any other province. They would never come out and say we have a crisis, but those who are familiar with the politics of this province will tell you that divisions have been here for a very long time. It is a known factor that the ANC in the Northwest is deeply factionalized. Even if you go to the provincial legislature, the caucus of the governing party there is deeply divided. There are factions within the ANC which make it difficult to work. Even if you look at how, by the way, Bushy Maape, who is the incoming premier of the province, whom the ANC will nominate once there is that vacancy, if you look at how his name emerged, I'm not saying it does not qualify, but there are reports that there were two other candidates, and it was decided that because both of them belong to different factions, they needed a neutral candidate. Hence the issue of Bushy Maape came in, his name came in, but he was not in the forefront or at the forefront of this position. He was brought in as someone who is regarded as very senior in the organization, as someone who will be able to prevail across all factions of the ANC in the province. So even the selection of the premier candidate tells you that it was to try and avoid these factions of the ANC in the Northwest.
All right, thanks so much for that. Appreciate it. Our senior reporter, Siphamandla Goge.